We got some great news for Tesla stock investors as the company said it launched an updated version of its Model Y in the United States and Europe late Thursday night in January 2025. So in this video, I'm going to discuss that latest announcement and what it could mean for Tesla stock investors. Let's jump in.
I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.
All right, on its website, Tesla said the new Model Y featuring an updated exterior and interior, new suspension tuning, and a slew of other smaller updates would start at $60,000 before any incentives and would lease for $700 a month with $3,000 down. Now, I know many Tesla stock investors might be disappointed in this news because they wanted to hear about a lower priced model, possibly something priced around $37,000 and rumored to be called the Model Q. But still, this newer model is going to help facilitate sales for Tesla. One of the main things car buyers look for is newness, an update, right? And so Tesla hasn't updated its model lineup for the most part for several years. It's done little small updates here and there, and this is another small update. But I've seen pictures, and the newer Model Y looks pretty good, and it looks pretty different from the previous Model Y. And so certainly this is going to help facilitate some sales. It's not going to drive the kind of sales increase that Tesla stock investors would have hoped for with a lower priced model. But this doesn't mean that a lower priced model could not also have it. Remember, Tesla said that early or in the first half of 2025, they will announce a lower priced model. So this might not be it. There might be another one upcoming. The company is scheduled to announce quarterly financial results and hold a conference call with Wall Street analysts. Perhaps during that conference call, there will be an announcement about a lower priced model. So this comes as Tesla's sales fell in 2024. The company delivered 1.789 million electric vehicles in 2024, and that was down from 1.8 million vehicles delivered in 2023. This was the first year that Tesla's year-over-year growth was negative. Tesla's struggled amid rising competition worldwide, especially in China, and tepid consumer demand in almost every country outside of China. Driving growth in electric vehicle sales will be critical for Tesla, even if many of Tesla's investors are investing in Tesla stock primarily because of driverless car technology or robotics technology. While Tesla bulls claim that Tesla is an AI company or a robotics company or anything other than a car company, in its latest quarter, $20 billion out of the company's $25 billion in sales came from sales of automotive vehicles, cars, right? So you have 80% of the company's sales coming from cars. And I would argue that the services segment is strongly dependent on car sales as well. So you can add another $3 billion to that total of $20 billion. And you can argue that $23 billion out of the company's $25 billion in sales comes from automotive revenues. So this is why I persistently say that for now, Tesla generates most of its sales from cars. Maybe in the future, maybe at some point in time in the future, it will be different. Certainly, you see the growth in the energy segment. That segment is growing much faster than the car sales segment, and I expect that will continue because even though I think this new model and the lower priced model coming out will help drive some sales boost for Tesla, I don't think that its sales are going to increase by all that much in terms of actual vehicle sales this year. If they do, the total number of car sales might increase, but total revenues might not increase by all that much because if sales are going to increase by a large magnitude, it's going to be due to the lower priced model. And of course, if you're selling a lower priced model, even if you sell more units, the total number of revenue might not increase by all that much. And this is critical for Tesla because this is driving the company's billions and billions of dollars in cash flow, right? In the most recent quarter, Tesla generated $6.2 billion in cash flow from operating activities. So they need these sales, they need these billions of dollars of cash flow so that they can invest in those future technologies like driverless cars and robotics. They need the billions of dollars to invest in those categories. Without sales of cars, where are they going to get that cash flow to invest in those categories? So sales of cars are going to be critical for Tesla over the next several years, even if investors do not want to focus on that because it's painful. I understand the growth is anemic here to just 2% year over year growth. And so, of course, it's more comforting to not pay attention to that and just look forward to driverless car technology and other things. But the fact remains that this is a critically important part of Tesla's business, a business that generated $6.2 billion in cash flow from operations in the latest quarter. And those are billions of dollars. In fact, the company spent $3.5 billion in capital expenditures. So if they didn't generate that $6.25 billion, they couldn't have spent the $3.5 billion in capital expenditures. I mean, they could have, but not sustainably. They couldn't continue doing that. They might be able to do it for a little while because they have an absolutely excellent balance sheet with over $33 billion in cash and zero debt. But if they continue spending more cash than they're bringing in, eventually that money can run out. Just look at what's happening to a company like Rivian, which at one point had close to $20 billion. And a lot of that cash flow has just evaporated because every quarter the company loses cash flow because it doesn't sell enough cars. So you need the sales of cars in order to get your company to that next step, to that next milestone. Tesla is in a great position to get there at this point, but they need to continue selling cars. They need to continue generating these cash flow from selling cars. And this new model is great news for Tesla stock investors because that's going to attract buyers. That's going to attract some people that say, oh, that's interesting. Let me go take a look. Let me go test drive. Let me go see that. And it might bring new buyers to the Tesla ecosystem. It might convert some buyers from traditional internal combustion engine vehicles over to electric vehicles, which will be great news for Tesla and its whole ecosystem. So great news for Tesla investors to be sure. Hey everyone, so many of you have been asking about my investing strategy, and I'm excited to announce that I've written a book that's available for sale now that describes my 6-step investing framework for evaluating stocks. I've added the link in the description below.